My topic is role of physiotherapists in disaster management. Especially right now, there is a outbreak is going on, especially pandemic incident is going on. That is called as COVID-19 or SARS-2, severe acute respiratory syndrome. So, how to manage being a physical therapist? Being a physical therapist, what are all the preventive measures and what kind of precaution being a physical therapist we have to take care ourselves and we wanted to prevent this infection our clients or patients. So is the my question is whether we have any role to contribute disaster management or not. First, so we have the significant contribution in the area of disaster management. Disaster management is also called as disaster continuum or disaster context. There was different classification we call this. So my initial topics I am going to cover general disaster management and specific COVID-19 or SARS-2 conditions. Today we are going to discuss, and you prepare to raise the question at the end of the session. I welcome all the audience and my friends and colleagues. So being a physical therapist, what is the difference between what is disaster that I'm going to describe right now? The disaster means disturbance induced situation after severe transformation of ecological response. That is called as disaster. So what is the meaning of physical therapy? We wanted to interrelated between the disaster and the physical therapy. Physiotherapy means it is a systematic method of assisting cardiorespiratory, musculoskeletal, neurological, including pain and psychosomatic condition, to prevent illness by the way of manual therapy and physical ability. So now, what we are contributing in the area of disaster management or pandemic or any outbreak, what is the role of physical therapy that we are going to discuss right now. So disaster means you came to know there are two types of disaster. One is natural disaster, another one is man-induced disaster. Man-induced disaster simply we call as CBRN. C stand for chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear. And natural disaster, everybody you came to know that is a cyclone or drought, earthquake, flood. So the right now the incident is going on, whether it is natural or man-induced disaster, still now there is no evidence. But you can consider being a physical therapist is a first line of treatment. We are working with the allied health professional. The allied health professional, our treatment role is first line of treatment. The first line of treatment, first we means physical therapies. We protect ourselves. What are all the preventive measures we have to take and what kind of precautions we have to take and how to protect our patients. So that is we are going to discuss. So in entire India, the disaster management which is controlled by one organization, that organization name is NDMA. It is called as NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority. The National Disaster Management Authority, which is controlled by Ministry of Home Affairs. So any pandemic or outbreak or any natural disaster which is happening, our Prime Minister is the chairman of that incident. So he is the officiating officer in charge to take care the entire rescue, relief and rehabilitation. So our chairman means the entire India, suppose this is an outbreak, we call this it is an outbreak or pandemic, the Prime Minister has to declare what kind of preventive measures, what kind of the lockdown we have to take. That is Prime Minister going to explain to the nation. This explanation which is coming through the various awareness like TV, internet, whatever the social like Facebook, whatever the social awareness which is available in the internet services, we can get the information. So the entire India or the entire world which is involved, then if it is Medically, we called as WHO guidelines we have to follow. But the physical therapy field, the entire globally, WCPT, that is World Confederation for Physical Therapy. In India, we have one organization that is regulating body, we called as Indian Association of Physical Therapy. They have some guidelines. Okay, in general disaster management, I already explained, that is called as NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority. They are the superior power to control any pandemic or any outbreak or any natural disaster or man-induced disaster. Whichever the incident, our body is controlled by, that is NDMA. If the incident I wanted to describe, suppose the incident happened only state level. The state level, the officiating officer is Chief Minister. If the incident happening within the district level, then our collector is the officiating officer. If it is incident happening in the rural area, then some of the Tahsildar, they are the right person to take care of the entire natural disaster or man-induced disaster, whichever the ailments they used to take care. So these are all the incidents I used to involve in 2004 in tsunami, in Chennai incident. I am the rescue team to give the support, especially how to transfer the affected victim from the affected area to unaffected area, especially if they need medical care or rehabilitation, whatever the things we used to help. Being a physical therapist, our already physiotherapy, everybody knows it is a movement expert. Recently, the physiotherapy we called as movement scientist. So there was a caring technique, how to transfer affected victims to unaffected area, that we have some skill. Physiotherapy means it is a skill-based work, right? So being a physical therapist, so the caring technique which will help to reduce the morbidity and mortality, we can able to give the quality, livelihood, well-being of the patients or victims, whatever the things. So these are all the incident, like some of the video pictures which shows earthquake, flood, tsunami, and the building collapse. So disaster induced some of the injury may happen, like traumatic brain injury, spinal cord injury, peripheral nerve injury, any stride, anything. It may happen medically. Being a physical therapy is the first line of treatment. We used to take care as well as we used to transfer the patient from the affected area to unaffected area. That is our skill, and working on that overall health and well-being of the victims. So the NDMA, they divided into medical care. One is psychosocial care and mental health and psychosocial care. Another one is medical preparedness and mass casualty management. We call, there are two things. One is psychiatry, another one is emergency. So the psychiatry, after post-disaster, that is psychosocial support and the mental health services. The second one is medical preparedness and mass casualty management. So the medical preparedness, we called as during disaster, post-disaster. So prevention, preparedness, protection. Prevention and preparedness we called as medication. And the post-disaster rescue, relief, rehabilitation. That is the physical therapy point of view. So these are all the area, some of the color coded. It's a dark coded, which is showing the flood affected area. It was around 2013-14 statistics report, which you can able to. This is a natural disaster. So some of the other disaster definition which is described. So any natural calamity or any disturbances happening to the common man, it leads to affect our entire life. That is also we call it disaster. So disaster means in Greek word, it came from the Greek word. This means it is a bad. Aster means it's a storm. So collectively bad storm. So it is not a good for any human being or any animals. So the disaster which will help to restore the functions. So major disaster which was given the statistics report. So 8 natural calamities which was happened, and Bhopal gas victims tragedy, earthquake, tsunami 2004 in December 26 it was happened. The entire southern part, especially Chennai, which was affected much severely than other part of the country. So some of the bomb blast which is called as man-induced disaster or man-made disaster. So the natural disaster I already described about. So these are all the area triple P or R3. Triple P, prevention, preparedness, protection. Another one is rescue, relief, rehabilitation. So some of the organization, if it is happening in the national level or international level, some of the funding agencies, which we called as mainly deployed, example such as mainly ICRC, International Committee of Red Cross, and the WHO, World Health Organization, and UNDP, United Nations Development Program, and Handicap International. Some of the fund generating agencies, they are ready to help, especially shelter and fund grants, whichever the things they are ready to help for humanitarian services, especially animal also. So the disaster area, not only physical therapy, general disaster, some geography people, engineer, they used to work. Engineer, they used to work geography, and the disaster specialized course, some people have done after undergraduation. There was a program which is offered from Mysore University, some other university in Pondicherry, they are offering some of the specialized master's program, especially general disaster, how to manage, how to give the relief, how to rescue the population. So not only human, if it is affected animal also, if it is affected animal, then veterinary doctors, they used to give the support to the affected population. So disaster, there was here some agencies, they are ready to help humanitarian, especially Handicap International, UNESCO, UNDP, ICRC, and the Indian Red Cross Society. Right now, they are taking the more attention to give the complete support to the medical care affected population, especially COVID-19 and COVID-19 or SARS-2.
Karthik sir, 1 minute. The call is going to get disconnected in more 5 minutes, so I request all the participants to join back again. Yes, sir, you can go ahead.
So the disaster cycle, generally we call as there is a impact. So in the impact, it is a cycle formation. I already told. So the first cycle is prevention, preparedness, that is called medication and production. The second cycle is post-disaster, rescue, relief, rehabilitation. So we are working in the both area, including pre-disaster area and post-disaster area. And during disaster also, we can help the victim from the affected area to unaffected area, especially caring techniques which will help to restore the function of the affected victims. And if it is happening, like pandemic, something is happening, so we classify some of the affected population, we classify into some of the color-coded bed facilities, services, which is offered from some respective hospital like AIIMS, NIMANS, some of the state-funded hospital, and some of the private-funded hospital also, they are ready to give the complete support. So the complete affected, it will be indicate red tab. If it is indicated, then the person is severely affected. Then they classified red, yellow, blue, and green. Severely less severe affected, then orange. Least severe affected, then yellow. The last one is block. The code is block quoted if it is mentioned. So the totally the person, the victim got died. So you can easily, no need to go see and close monitoring, which is not required to the victims. So according to the code, you can identify red, orange, yellow, and block. If block is indicating the patient completely died, so easily you can classify to the patient. You can give the complete support to the affected victims. It will help to reduce the workload of medical professionals. So some of the predictive measures, what kind of predictive measures we have to take, that it's a very vast area. So I'm going to concentrate mainly on today the pandemic incident is going on. So being a physical therapist, there was a lot of confusion which is going on. Whether the physiotherapists have significant role to control the pandemic, or the physiotherapy can contribute the first line of treatment or not, or physiotherapist post-COVID condition can contribute something in the field of physical therapy or not. There was a lot of things were going on. So right now, if you consider COVID-19, which came from China in 2019 December in Wuhan district, this COVID-19, that is SARS-2, in 2003 it came already in China, but 2019 again it came. So the first came, that is one called as SARS-1. During that 2019 it came, that is called as SARS-2. Same symptoms, but it was controlled by China. But this came from 2019, it spreaded globally. So the affected population day by day, more than lakhs people got affected. In India, major population, but when we compare with the Western country and the Asian country, our population is less affected than the Western population, especially Europe country and the USA. The death rate day by day it is increasing and a fluctuating number of deaths. So what kind of physical therapist role in the COVID-19 or severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARI we can call severe acute respiratory infection. We can classify different names. So it came from China, that's why it's called as COVID-19. So being a physical therapist, what kind of preventive measures we have to take? So we are eligible to work as a patient educator. We can give the awareness to the patient or awareness to the public. Because being a rehabilitation professional, we are the strong delivery to prevention. We already physical therapy means we are working in the prevention and the protection of injuries. Both we are working. The same pandemic, we are working in the prevention as well as post-COVID management conditions also. So being a physical therapist, it is a significant contribution. So it is mainly what are all the symptoms which we can able to quantify. What is the clinical manifestation? The main symptom is fever, high fever. The patient or victim will get high temperature, followed by he has dry cough, and followed by some apnea or dyspnea. In the latter stage, he may develop some kidney failure also. So, being a physical therapist, the depends upon the severity. We can assess the patient, whether the patient having acute symptom or subacute symptom or chronic symptom. Which symptom is more common? We need to quantify. We need to assess the things. So, in any assessment, we need to follow some of the parameters, that is we call the SOAP, subjective objective assessment and treatment plan. And physiotherapist is the first line of treatment. So what the patient, so generally it is an infectious disease. So we can assess through some of the online resources. Which are the things we don't need to go on to personally to evaluate the patient physically, which is not required. First, you need to quantify whether this kind of symptom is continuous or not. Then we can get the patient to reach the hospital, which is available to identify, especially to take the diagnosis. So in Bangalore, we call this, there was a hospital testing, especially COVID-19, it is called as rapid test. So the rapid test, which is available.
Yeah, sir, you can start, sir.
Yeah. Thanks for giving the break. So we wanted to start again. So already we are discussing about the SARS-2 management or COVID-19 management, what is the role in physical therapy? So physical therapy, there was a lot of confusion, being if whether our role is first line of treatment or second line of treatment, which is getting a lot of confusion. The patient depends upon the severity, already we discussed. We can classify it into the different categories, especially acute, subacute, and chronic conditions. The patient need ventilator support. There was very few evidence-based protocol which is supporting the role of physiotherapist in COVID-19 because the disease came in 2019 December. So some of the few articles only which is supporting COVID-19 management or SARS-2 management. So as per WCPT guidelines, before touching the patient, suppose the patient, for example, the patient is taking ICU, the patient having severe breathless symptoms. If it is happening outside India, right now there was no patient in the ICU care in India, but the rest of the country, especially European country, the severity of the case is more, so they used to get the admission in the ICU care. So before touching the patient, I already told you, we have to take the assessment. The assessment, we have to quantify like subjective, objective assessment and treatment plan. So before touching the patient, whether the patient having severe symptom or not. The symptom is very severe, then we can take the consultation online. Then we refer the patient to appropriate hospitals. Especially in Karnataka or especially in Bangalore, there are 3 hospitals. They are ready to take the diagnosis as well as treatment. Mainly for the Nemansis, especially right now they designated as a diagnostic hospital, and the Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Chest Disease, they are doing diagnosis as well as treatment, and Victoria Hospital, they are doing the diagnosis as well as treatment. There was a diagnosis tool which we called as rapid test, which is easily available. The cost of the price is 1,000 rupees. The government of Karnataka, they were planning to take especially healthcare practitioners, including doctors, nurses, physical therapists, lab technician, and the police population. Each one who is contributing or very close to the victim or patients, they used to test. There was a discussion is going on. So before touching the patient, what kind of measures we have to take? Mainly, already the awareness program, which is coming from the TV news and internet, online, some of the news are spreading all over the globally. Every news are coming up. So the first line, we have to keep on wash our hands. There was a 8 technique which we used to perform. So after that, we have to use the sanitization with washing around 5 minutes. We have to fulfill that criteria. Once you complete it, the second main thing is we have to take PPE, because the ICU care we are discussing right now, the patient, you are going to attend the ICU management. So ICU management, we are the first line of treatment. Mainly doctors will be there, nurses will be there, and the third one is physical therapist. Because the sputum every day it will be, day by day it will be increasing the level of the sputum. Being a skill expert, physiotherapist is a skill-based work. Being a skill expert, we are ready to provide complete support to the respiratory organs, especially lungs. So some expert, those who already trained or currently practicing in the area of respiratory care, they can able to provide complete support to the respiratory management. In the respiratory management, what we can do, especially there was a technique we called the chest physical therapy. This chest physical therapy which came from massage. So tapping and the vibration, shaking. These are all the 3 techniques which we used to perform in the ICU. So massage is a scientific manipulation of soft tissues performed with the hands to affect muscular and the circulatory system. So these 3 techniques which we can give the complete support to the respiratory organs. Mainly chest vibration tapping, it will help to loosen the secretion. So the expert of nurse, they used to administer and they take it out the secretion. That is some procedure. So, and another thing is positioning. You are the expert to keep the patient which lobe is affected. On the basis of the affected lobe, we need to assess it. But right now, the appropriate position is the expert, they have given appropriate position is prone position or face down position. The face down position or prone position, what we have to do it, we have to keep the patient at least 12 to 16 hours. That is the recent evidence-based protocol which is supporting. So minimum 12 to 16 hours. So whether tracheostomy patient, endotracheal tube patient, all the patient, whether it can be helped or not. As per recent evidence protocol, this is the appropriate position to clear the lungs, lung, any secretion is there, it will help to remove the sputum easily. So the lungs will work normal function, the entire function, it will keep on working appropriate manner. So the right position is face down position or prone position. So when you want to make the prone position, physiotherapist is a skill. He cannot, it depends upon the patient's obese or non-obese patient. We have to take some support from the allied health professionals like nurses and attenders. Those people, they used to available in the ICU setting. So we used to take the help from that people, and we need to give the support, especially prone position, the tracheostomy patient. We have to keep some pillow under the chest, and we can elevate, and the tracheal tube will connect to the ventilator. So it will help to restore the lung function quickly, as well as he can restore the vital signs, especially heart rate, BP, respiratory rate, or oxygen saturation. That and all he can able to maintain normal level. So this is another. So positioning, the physiotherapist expert guidelines will be there. The expert will help them to keep the pillows by the help with the support of allied health professionals. Another thing is the patients. Some patient having the severity is less, he can able to walk. So we have to promote the patients, especially the end organ which is muscles. The muscular impairment will be there. So we have to quantify what is the level of the muscle power. That is we call as MCR. Medical MRC, Medical Research Council, they classified 0 no muscle contraction, 1 is weak calf contraction, 2 is full range of movements, equalizing gravity, full range of movements against gravity with the resistance, to this normal condition. According to the muscle power, we can give some sort of exercise. The exercise which consists of one is passive range of motion, active range of motion, stretching, strengthening, resisted exercise, and assisted exercise depends upon the muscle power. The physiotherapy expert, they can prescribe the protocol and they administer this protocol, and they will keep on monitor whether there any prognosis or not. So some graded exercise, some of the arm crank, we cannot do 24 hours. So some machine devices which is available, that is arm crank ergometer, bicycle ergometer. Some of the patient, some postural hypotension is less, then we can use for kid table. They are unable to stand. Through the mechanical device, we can help the patient to stand. So these are all the give the confidence to the patient. We can take as a mobility expert to walk the patient. We can correct, depends upon the impairment or disability. So we can administer in ICU setting. If long time the patient is lying in continuously, he may develop some sort of contraction and deformity. So we have to apply some of the orthotic appliances, that is AFO ankle foot orthosis and knee gaiters, in elbow gaiters. These are all the things it will help to prevent the contraction and deformity. Hello, Srinivas?
Yeah, Karthik sir, go ahead sir. More 5-10 minutes and then we can take the questions. Yeah sir.
Right. So these are all the things, depends upon the severity, and we need to, being a muscle, We are the expert. Physiotherapist means we are the expert to treat the muscles. When the muscle getting any impairment, the patient unable to walk, unable to sit, unable to stand, unable to walk. So being a physical therapist, we need to quantify and we have to promote the patient to walk in and around the ICU, ICU setting, how to manage, out of the ICU setting, how to manage some of the general care, how to manage. So there was no specific protocol which is not coming because it is recently developed with this COVID-19. So they have quantified only adult patients. The adult population only they have quantified. From that adult population, they given this specific protocol which will help to improve the lung function, especially respiratory, to prevent the respiratory complications. So respiratory complications, if you are not giving proper support, you may develop some kind of contracture and deformity. And further chest physiotherapy, if you are not performed, then pneumonia, TB, some sort of. And after post COVID also, we can give the support. Suppose you classify infant, then children's, then adult, then geriatric population. Each population depends upon the, I told you, MRC, Medical Research Council, they given the muscle. So we can give the strengthening also, we can give the gait. They are unable to walking pattern, if it is abnormality, we can correct their gait also. So some sort of things we can able to, especially inside ICU and outside ICU, we can give the complete support to the patients. Another things I already told you, those exercise like free exercise, assisted, resisted, strengthening, passive range of motion, depends upon the muscular, we can deliver and we can give the complete support to the affected muscles. So suppose the patient completely bedridden, so we can provide some, for example, we can provide some sort of bed mobility exercise. Bed mobility exercise which consists of lying to sideline to right, left, then rolling, then sitting to standing, then walking. So those we can able to give the some sort of exercise, and we can quantify that. We can quantify some of the outcome parameter, that is 6-minute walk test. So those things we can able to find out how much prognosis is there, how much walking ability is there. Everything we can quantify. Some of the research outcome too we can quantify. And finally, I wanted to conclude this COVID-19 or SARI or SARS-2. So the physiotherapy now, whatever I have gained my previous experience and current experience, I discussed with you. And you people having any doubt or clarification, we can able to take the solution of this COVID management. And now you can get some concrete idea about COVID-19 or SARS-2 or SARI patient, how to manage being a physical therapist. So physiotherapist, from the day 1 to post-COVID, we are able to give the complete support and good accomplishment of the treatment care. So physiotherapy, not only we can give the being a patient educator, we can give a mental health support also. So recently in 2013, physiotherapists, they are giving the mental support, especially psychiatry symptom if they develop. So being a healthcare practitioner, we have some fitness protocol also. So like TheraBand, then medicine ball, some of the exercise we can able to, and we can make the complete free from any disease. So those exercise, you have to consult the physical therapist. They are the right people to advise the which protocol which is more applicable, and they are giving the advices to the what kind of exercise. Especially recently, some sort of immune system strengthening protocol which is coming up. So you can go and consult some fitness expert. Fitness means physiotherapist only. They are the expert which exercise protocol which help to strengthen your immunity system. So you can consult some sports physical therapists. They are giving their support to the this COVID management.